What's up, everybody? This is xinsom from GBA, and I'll be bringing you a battle from the Johto conference today. It is hornberger123, who is the player Rob, versus biohazard930, who is the player Mitchell. Hoenn's going to be running an Umbreon, Nidoking, Darmanitan, Quagsire, Mawile, which will be his Mega and Breloom, and Biohazard's going to be running Cloyster, Pinsir, which I'm going to assume is his Mega, Kingdra, Zapdos, Ferrothorn, and Politoed. I have not seen this battle, blind commentary, don't know what's going to happen, should be interesting. Let's get into it. So Biohazard's going to let Politoed set up his Rain, because he's running a pseudo-Rain team, and Hoenn's going to lead off with Umbreon. And Politoed's in for Focus Blast, and this Umbreon's probably specially defensively built, so I don't know how much it's going to do here. Yeah, it's not going to do a whole lot. Focus Blast did hit, though, so that's always nice. And Umbreon's going to Toxic off on Politoed, and Politoed hates having Toxic on it. So that's a great move by Hoenn. Get the Toxic advantage on Politoed, ensures it can't stay in for super long. And Bio is going to withdraw Politoed and bring in his Ferrothorn. And Umbreon's going to Wish Up to get back up into full health, and I don't think this Umbreon can do anything to Ferrothorn. Umbreon with Foul Play isn't allowed in this league. So yeah, Hoenn's going to switch out Umbreon and go into Nidoking. And Ferrothorn's going to Toxic, but Nidoking's already Poison type, so that Toxic could do nothing. Great switch by Hoenn there. Hoenn's going to hit back with Earth Power. Going to hit for neutral damage, not do a lot. Ferrothorn fairly especially defensively bulky, and Ferrothorn going to respond with a Leech Seed on Nidoking. Heal up with Leftovers. Heal up from Leech Seed. And go back to square one. I'm guessing that Hoenn thought that he would switch Ferrothorn there, which is why he didn't go Flamethrower. But Bio's going to switch out Ferrothorn now and switch into Pinsir. And Nidoking is going to go for the Flamethrower now. And do a decent amount to Pinsir. Leech Seed damage on Nidoking. Heal up Pinsir a little bit. And Pinsir's going to Mega Up. And should be faster than this Nidoking, so I'll probably take that here. And use Earthquake. So that will take out the Nidoking. And we get our first casualty of the battle. So Hoenn's going to send out Quagsire, which is probably physically defensively built. Biohazard's going to switch out Pinsir and go back into Ferrothorn. I'm expecting probably a Scald here. Yep, Scald from Quagsire in the rain probably would have killed that Pinsir. Good switch by Biohazard. Ferrothorn's not going to take hardly anything. And there's no burn. So Ferrothorn's probably going to recover more from this Leftovers than it actually took from that Scald. Hoenn's going to switch Quagsire out and go into Darmanitan. And expecting to switch, Biohazard use Leech Seed. Gonna get some damage off of this Darmanitan, heal up a little bit. Rain just stopped, so Darmanitan can be Flare Blitzing for its maximum damage here. I'm expecting Biohazard to switch out, because he probably doesn't want to lose his Ferrothorn. Probably switch out into Zapdos? Nope, switch out into Politoed. And the Rain's back. So yep, good move by Biohazard. Bring the Rain back, neuter this Flare Blitz that's incoming. Yep. And probably defensively built to boot, so not going to take a whole lot there. It's a good move by Biohazard, taking minimal damage there. This Darmanitan is probably the Choice Scarfed or Choice Banded, so he's going to switch here. Unless he wants to take some Scald. Yep, Hoenn's going to switch out Darmanitan and go back into Umbreon. And Politoed's going to use Hydro Pump, which in the rain is going to get boosted. And deal a decent amount to this Umbreon. Another Hydro Pump will probably kill it. We'll see how things go. Toxic damage starting to rack up on Politoed. Umbreon's going to protect. Okay, so good move. This toxic damage is going to take Politoed down even more. And Umbreon going to heal up a little more, and it may be able to survive a Hydro Pump now. Politoed going to Hydro Pump, and we'll see if Umbreon survives. Yep, Umbreon lives with 12 hit points, so great placement by Hoenn there. And Umbreon's going to Wish. I think this Toxic shouldn't take Politoed out here. I think he's got one turn left alive. Yeah, so expect Hoenn to protect here. Biohazard switching out his Politoed to save his Rain for later in the battle. Switch out into Ferrothorn. Umbreon protects. Heals up. And gets some more leftover recovery. So Umbreon back in a great place. Only one casualty so far this battle. 5-6 in favor of Biohazard at the moment. Hoenn's going to switch out his Umbreon into Breloom. And Ferrothorn's going to Toxic on this Breloom. And the question is this Breloom Toxic Heal Breloom, or is it Technician? And it is Technician. Okay, so that poison damage is going to rack up some damage on the Breloom. Biohazard going to switch out Ferrothorn into Zapdos. And Breloom is going to Swords Dance up. So a Rock Tomb at this point should do significant damage to the Zapdos. However, I believe Zapdos is faster. It is not faster. Okay. And he goes for Bullet Seed here. And it only hits twice and does not do a whole lot of damage. Zapdos goes for Thunder. I assume there would have been a Drill Peck there, but he might not be running it. This is a defensively built Zapdos. And the Rain's gone. Breloom going to Bullet Seed again. Really surprised if Breloom's not running a Rock Tomb. You see that a lot on Technician Breloom's. Only hits twice again. So bad luck on his part, only hitting twice with Bullet Seed twice in a row. Zapdos is going to set up the manual Rain. And Breloom is going to go down to Poison. So we got our second casualty of the battle. So Hoenn's going to send in Mawile, which is going to get an Intimidate drop on Zapdos, but shouldn't affect it too much since it seems prone to just sit there and Thunder. And Mawile's going to Mega up. And Zapdos is going to Thunder. Mawile doesn't have the greatest special defense, so this should do a decent amount. Takes it a little under half and gets a Paralyze. And that is not good at all for Mega Mawile. Not so much that it was fast to begin with, but the chance to have a Paralysis Axe is going to hurt a lot. And get some Rocky Hammer damage from the Zapdos, but manages to take out the Zapdos with Play Rough. So Ferrothorn is going to Leech Seed up on this Mawile. And Mawile is going to use Power Up Punch, which does an impressive amount of damage to this Ferrothorn. Huge power aside, that just shows you the true power of Mega Mawile. It is an absolute monster. And at this point, a Sucker Punch may be able to take down that Ferrothorn. I don't know if he's running or not. Well, we're going to find out. Not quite. And Iron Barb is going to kill off Mawile. So, Leech Seed saving Ferrothorn there. So, Hoenn's going to send out Darmanitan to threaten this Ferrothorn. Bio's going to withdraw Ferrothorn and go out into Cloyster. And Darmanitan used Superpower, predicting the switch. And that Cloyster is going to go down like a sack of bricks. So good move by Hoenn there, taking out Cloyster. Good prediction. And the Rain's gone. So Hoenn's probably going to go ahead and Superpower again here because base speed Darmanitan is faster than Politoed. No, he's going to switch out. Okay, he could have gotten a kill there, but his strategy switches out an Umbreon. And Politoed goes for the Scald. In the rain, does a decent amount of damage to this, especially defensive Umbreon, and Umbreon gets the leftovers recovery. Politoed takes toxic damage and survives by the skin of his teeth. Biohazard withdrawing Politoed to maintain his reign for later in the battle. Switch out to Ferrothorn. And Umbreon is going to Wish Up. Guaranteeing itself some HP later on. A little leftovers recovery on both sides. Very defensive battle we have going on here. Umbreon protects up, guaranteeing it gets its Wish off. And Ferrothorn used Toxic, but Umbreon protected itself, so it's to no avail. I'm expecting Umbreon to switch here because it can't really do anything to Ferrothorn. And now that's full health, you can bring it back in later. Ferrothorn. No, Umbreon's going to use Payback. Interesting move selection. But still not going to do a lot to Ferrothorn. And Ferrothorn comes back with a Toxic, which is good to get on this Umbreon. This Umbreon is playing a major stall game right now against Biohazard. So that Toxic's going to help alleviate that. So Umbreon's going to pay back again, trying as hard as it can to take out this Ferrothorn. Get some more residual damage with Iron Barbs. Ferrothorn going to Leech Seed, but Umbreon avoids it, so lucky move there. Between Leech Seed and Leftovers, I don't know if Umbreon could have ever killed Ferrothorn with the residual damage and Payback. And Toxic damage starting to rack up. Alright, Hoenn's going to switch out Umbreon and go into Darmanitan. And Ferrothorn is going to Leech Seed Darmanitan, but Darmanitan avoids it. Leech Seed does not want to hit today. And Darmanitan's going to use Flare Blitz and finally take out this Ferrothorn. So Biohazard's going to send out his Pinsir, and Pinsir's going to use Return and take out this Darmanitan. And Hoenn's going to send out Quagsire. You get a little defensive damage. Return does a little over half to Quagsire, and Quagsire is going to respond by killing Pinsir, not killing Pinsir, doing a decent amount of damage to Pinsir. With Scald. Biohazard's going to withdraw Pinsir and go back into Politoed, bring the rain back, and Politoed's probably just a sacrificial lamb at this point. He's got next to no hit points. He just wanted his rain back. And Quagsire gets his Scald off here, and will take out Politoed. So we have a 2-2 tie at the moment. Coming down to the end of the battle, Umbreon and Quagsire versus Pinsir and Kingdra. And Biohazard's going to bring out Kingdra and Ice Beam this Quagsire and not quite take it out. Kingdra is so fast in the rain. Not quite sure if it can out-damage this Quagsire, though. But he's just going to content to use Ice Beam. And Quagsire responds with Toxic. And I feel like that's going to be the end of Quagsire. If he'd recovered there and kept up leftovers recovery, he might have been able to just stall this Kingdra out until it killed itself with Life Orb damage. But you never know. This Kingdra may be running Sniper as opposed to Swift Swim. A little head games there. So Kingdra's going to Ice Beam this Umbreon. And do next to nothing. toxic damage running on both sides. And Kingdom's going to respond with Surf in the rain. And Umbreon is probably going to go down here. Toxic damage on both sides. Nope, Umbreon barely survives. Biohazard going to switch back into Pinsir. Umbreon going to protect to no avail. Get a little wish recovery, a lot of wish recovery, and a little leftovers recovery. This defensive stalling is killing my ability to speak. Pinsir responds with a turn, takes out Umbreon. Quagsire comes in killable range for Pinsir. Pinsir returns again, takes out Quagsire. And Biohazard picks up the 2-0 win over Hornberger. Long battle, good predictions on both sides. Always interesting seeing defensive wars like that. Like, favorite, comment, and make sure to stay tuned for more Axis GBA battles.